Hey guys, welcome to Film Deviant, and today we have the Twisted Twins. Oh my god. So how was it like working with the lovely Catherine Isabel?
Miserable. Awful human being. Can't say enough terrible things about Katie.
Jen has this habit of saying horrible things about Katie every time we talk, but Katie's awesome.
It's because Katie is so well loved that I like to see the hurt and disappointment in people's eyes, and I'm like, oh, she's a bitch.
She's so...
She isn't. She's fantastic.
She's as fucking cool as you would imagine her to be. She works really hard. We had 15 days and 17 costume changes. She did all of her own stunts, prosthetic work, and she had no more than 3 takes for every scene, and she did it perfectly. And I would see her after working way into the middle of the night with her, and then she'd be back on set at 4 in the morning, and she'd still look fucking awesome. And I just wanted to be like, you know what? Fuck you. Just like fuck you.
She's so pretty that people forget what a talented and brilliant actress she is. I mean, pretty is like the last thing I would describe her as. I mean, she's effortlessly brilliant, and to see the capacity for emotion and depth that she has, especially towards the end of the film when we really take her words away and it's all just in her face and in her eyes. Phenomenal. There was never another choice for Mary Mason. We were going to, if she said no for whatever reason, we were just gonna, she lives in Vancouver, so we're gonna track her down and just find out why, and just
stalk her.
And I mean, she's so well loved by the horror community. So it's so awesome to hear that she's great.
Oh, and for good reason too. When she travels around, I mean, she is just so giving to the fans. At Fright Fest, there was a place called the Phoenix.
The Phoenix.
That we called the Winchester, and we stayed there until our flight at 7 in the morning, drinking everybody who came out under the table.
Katie drank everyone under the table, and I saw people doing shots, and they were on the floor, and Katie's just like, fine, she's beautiful, she's totally coherent. She's like, oh, hi guys.
She's a wizard.
I'm just Katie.
She's such a Canadian girl. She says she's not intentionally funny, but she's fucking hilarious.
No, she's the best thing ever.
Now, I mean, the both of you have a huge, huge following, which is really awesome in this genre. Do you ladies have any cool stories to share about like the obsessed fans out there?
Nice ones like death threats or
we're usually the obsessed fans. I think that's what really sets us apart is that I don't call them fans as much as friends because I don't have a social life. I spend all my time on social media, on Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr.
It'd be so distracting.
There's no life. It's like when I started playing Skyrim, life just was like, oh, later. I would say that anytime we get an email from a little girl or a little girl's mom saying that I want to grow up and be you, I think it was meant to be sent to like Joss Whedon or Sigourney Weaver or something. But
a lot of the fan or friend interaction we get with American Marys, people because of the body modification, the pro body, whatever you want to do, that's totally cool. We get messages from people who are transgender, who have had different modifications, and they're like, thank you so much for doing something like this. And when we first stumbled upon body modification, our biggest ambition with this film was to open a dialogue and to make people more accepted for who they are, what they look for, like what their life choices are. And to know that that actually hit home for some people, that means so fucking much. Like some people might say whatever about the movie, but for the few people that it really hit home and they're like, I can relate to that, I've been that person, that's kind of like me, I'm like, fuck yeah, that you're exactly who we made that for.
Yeah, and I mean, you're both fans of the genre, so
absolutely.
That kind of thing means a lot.
Yeah, we're such huge fangirls. Like, I can't even believe this is my job. We got to, in Vancouver Fan Expo, we were in the Rue Morgue booth with Tom Savini. I was like, that must be a fucking mistake, man. I'm not hanging out with Tom Savini, Sex Machine, all weekend. And he just kept looking over because we kept fangirling. We're like, oh my god, Tom. He's like, yeah, I've been here all
weekend.
He
was so tolerant. He's a wonderful man.
Oh my god, and the tattoos are fucking amazing too. When people get
us on their arms or other parts, they're so beautiful, and it's can't even. There aren't words for how honored I am. Like, oh, I'm on you forever. Cool.
I saw that one where it's the logo of Twisted Twins.
Yeah.
It just blew me away.
Stunning, just so beautiful. We saw this really phenomenal one of Dr. Mary Mason on somebody's arm, was it? And that was while we were in London.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's great.
Deadpool! It's Deadpool. It's Deadpool.
It's Deadpool, guys. What is your favorite horror film of all time?
Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah. American Psycho.
Nice.
We love the novel too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bret Easton Ellis is incredible. I wish the film was a little closer. It's probably horrible to say that. I wish the mutilations were as detailed as his music and clothing descriptions, but I think that's one of the funniest things in the book, how he spends so much time describing the lapel he has, and then he goes into so much description describing, I tried to eat some of her brains afterwards.
You know, as you do.
As you
Right,
do.
of course,
I mean,
of course.
who's going to know?
Right. And I mean, that's one of those I would say faithful adaptations where the movie kind of got it right. You know, with
Yeah.
the book, you know, so.
It definitely had the tone right, and it's like the most quotable horror,
Yeah.
I dare say, comedy.
Right.
Canadian lady director,
Yes.
Mary
Of course,
Herron.
of
She's such a
course.
fucking hero of
Yeah.
ours.
And it really did launch Christian Bale. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, but after that, it was like, oh, Christian
Right.
Bale.
And just the lengths that guy goes through for his
Oh.
He is phenomenal. He's
hard.
so talented.
Yeah. This actually leads me into my next one. Who are some of your biggest influences?
We often half joke that she's the Lars von Trier and I'm the Joss Whedon. I put the heart in and she rips it out and then rapes it and takes a shit on it and says, that's what you could say.
But I do it on black and white on a phantom, so it's
Yeah,
hard to
like 1,000 frames a second. And it's really true. Also, since we're at C2E2, I'm the Charles Xavier and she's the Eric Lencher. I'm looking for hope. and
Jen
she's
thinks
like,
there's hope in
There
the
is no
world for
hope,
some reason.
Charles.
Film-wise, Robert Rodriguez, Carlos
Absolutely.
Gallardo got us hugely into what we're doing. I love Argento, Clive Barker. If he didn't exist with Hellraiser, we probably would have never made a movie like American Mary.
David Cronenberg as a trailblazing Canadian in Dead Ringers. Oh my god, such a great
You can
film.
see a lot of that influence in American Mary.
Absolutely.
He's the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Takashi Miike.
And Takashi Miike, Yoshihiro Nishimura. I just love weird practical stuff and just like creativity and stuff. Eli Roth, he's been such a good friend to us and such a mentor. Like, he didn't have to help us while we were making the movie.
No.
Like, I could text him and be like, holy fuck, this happened. And he would actually respond and be like, okay, that's normal. This is what you could do. And this just this. And
We're ruining his bad boy image. He's a total asshole.
no, he's just so, I don't know why he has a bad rap, because if you go to Fantastic Fest, everyone has a story about Eli Roth, how he helped them, how he did
Yeah.
this, how he did that, and like, everyone should love you. It's just fucking awesome, man. And I'm so excited to see Hemlock Grove is
Yeah.
a series and his
Yeah,
new movie,
yeah.
Great Inferno, that's coming out. I've been jonesing for an Eli Roth movie for a while
For
now.
the longest time.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been on the scene for a while, so yeah, all those movies coming out, it's like so psyched to see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. I think he put a lot of his effort into Goratorium, which
Yeah.
I'm dying to
Oh, you
go
haven't been
to.
to?
No, there's
No,
wristbands
not
from
yet.
Goratorium. That's as close
Yeah.
as I've gotten.
We're gonna, after Comic-Con, we're gonna do a Vegas trip. So when the Twisted Twins die and are never heard of, just look for us in Vegas.
And after Comic-Con, if you're there, San Diego Comic-Con will be in Vegas.
Just everybody come to Vegas with us.
This is party, I don't
Shut
know.
Vegas down for a private party of ours.
Nice. That would be awesome.
Hey, you're invited. We can start driving.
So talk about the process of making films outside of Hollywood and the independent spirit that you guys have so long.
I think the one thing that American Mary and Dead Hooker both have in common is nobody was in it for the money.
Oh God, I hope no one was in it for the money.
Because there just wasn't that kind of opportunity. Jen and I have this horrible habit of thinking about these huge ideas, and in nowhere you're going to get that kind of funding. But you find a team that's excited about the material. They're excited about the story. They're excited about how you're going to do it, how you're going to pull it off with those kinds of things. And even on a Dead Hooker, everybody just like brought stuff on.
Yeah.
Their cast was crew, things like that. But it happened on American Mary too. Like, everyone had their positions, but they would bring things from home. They would come in for free. They would do things they wouldn't normally do because they were so excited about that. And I think that's something a studio will never be able to do, because they do fix their problems with money.
Yeah.
Something doesn't work, throw more money at it, but it doesn't necessarily make for a better project.
Right.
But we don't have that option. And one thing that Rodriguez taught us is that use creativity.
Yeah.
to solve those things. So you have to be really fast on your feet, and I think that makes a little more of a life, a little more soul to your projects. And we were lucky enough to be able to go to Troublemaker Studios when we were in Toronto, in Texas, and that kind of gave us the studio bug. Yeah. And it's hard to say what the national cinematic identity of Canada is. We don't really have one. We've never really supported genre films, and we have a lot of encouragement for people to come to Canada to shoot their movies there, but they're not so keen to be like, oh hey, you guys are Canadian artists, let's hear your stories. So Jen and I want to open our own studio where we self-finance our own stuff. We have the same teams, and then we see other artists doing stuff. People like Astron Six. I'd love to give those guys a shit ton of money and be like, guys, you're brilliant. Just do your shit.
Right.
So that is the next
great,
step.
They're amazing.
Oh, I love them so much. Manborg is like the movie I give everybody, and they think I'm cooler because I know about this cool obscure movie. I'm like, this is the shit, man.
It's a God-given right to see Manborg.
It's a God-given
Absolutely.
You have to see Manborg.
And
Astron Six.
And their new film, The Editor, is supposedly shooting this year, and it's going to be fucking sick. So there's a little plug for my favorite filmmakers.
Oh, and is No Sleep, No Surrender coming out soon?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
I can't say if we were involved in it, but I won't say we weren't.
So in a sea of remakes, you got Evil Dead out there, made #1 at the box office. Where do you think horror is kind of going into?
I think unfortunately because of the Evil Dead remake, which I haven't seen but I hear is wonderful, there are going to be a lot of other studios and a lot of other companies that are going to shit out remakes because they don't know why the Evil Dead remake was so good.
Right.
I haven't seen it myself, but I hear that it respects the original while doing something original itself. And I think that is lacking in most remakes. I think a lot of remakes only exist because they know that the name alone will make us fans who love horror so much come out and see it.
I think in the future there's only going to be like the big studio multi-million dollar things that because they want to make their money back, they're not going to take risks. They're not going to do something you haven't seen before. And then there's going to be these little independent horror brats that are like, just fuck the system. Let's just do whatever we're going to do. And those are the guys you're going to want to watch.
That's us and
Kinda
Astron
like,
6.
Oh
and
God,
Jason Eisner.
God willing, I hope you guys still like the movies. But John Landis said something that was amazing. Two people studios, a good movie is a movie that makes money. Doesn't even matter what it's about. And I remember he was saying that people went over to a studio, wanted to do American Werewolf in London too. And they're like, he's like, okay, what's it about? He's like, about 2 chicks this time. He's like, okay, 2 chicks, that's cool. And no werewolves. He's like, what do you mean no werewolves? And they're like, well, it's gonna be like this chemical thing that makes people act like old Carol and stuff. He's like, but it's American Werewolf in London too, don't you need the... And they're like, no, it doesn't even matter because as long as you have the title, we know what the opening box office is going to be. We know how much money we're going to make, so it doesn't even matter. And to know that they actually think like that, then all of a sudden it's like, guys, don't go see these movies. Don't see these big studio pieces of shit because as long as they're making money, they're going to keep making them. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Chainsaw was #1 because of you guys. You guys went out there and watched it. And,
don't watch
those crap movies.
No, don't watch Paranormal Activity
Yes,
anymore.
stop it!
Please. They're having the biggest laugh on all of us because they're not making it because it's original. They're making it because, oh, look, we can make this so cheap. We don't need good cameras.
Right, exactly. So what's next? You guys have anything to promote? Maybe Bob or something?
Yes, the next film is Bob. It's an original monster movie. We're teaming with Masters of Hexagon. You're going to see some really cool original monster stuff, and then the tagline is, there's a monster inside all of us, and sometimes it gets out. First Comics that has us out right now, they're going to be releasing graphic novel director's cuts of our work, and because of American Mary, and I'm so grateful that you guys got behind it, because this means I'm not waiting tables anymore. 2 weeks before production, we were waiting tables, grabbed our last check, and we were like, fuck, done. I hope I don't have to come back the walk of shame like, hey, can I get my section back and keep waiting? But we have some cool opportunities. One of my favorite graphic novel artists and writer, I met him, Jen and I have met him a few times, we've become really good friends. He's got 2 amazing scripts and he wants us to do the big screen adaptations for that. So that's coming up, and big comic nerds, and we always wanted to be like, this is how a comic book movie should go. So we're getting a great opportunity with that
awesome.
too.
It's such a cock tease. We can't say who it is, but he's so talented as a writer and artist that there's almost no work for
Go on
a
Twitter and
director to
see
do.
who we talk to.
There's somebody that we
don't
have a love
look.
fest with, and he's also a Joss Whedon level feminist as well. He's very
his
big into
stuff's
third
really
wave
good.
feminism, and I'd say he's more of a feminist than even the two of us.
Yeah,
And his work is just, there's no words for how fucking awesome it is.
And there's another project, and I'm not allowed to say what it is because.
Oh, it's the one that we're really excited
The one that we
about.
freaked out about the other day. We didn't even know we were into the running for it, and we got a message being like, "Are you guys interested in this?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, man! I would kill her to do it." There's quite a few things coming up, so
Awesome.
we're probably going to be busy for the next 10 years.
That's great. We got a lot of stuff from the Twisted Twins coming. So it's going to be so awesome to see. Now, basically, this whole questionnaire was all crap because it's all about this last question right here. Spider-Man versus Deadpool, who wins?
You know what? Spidey will kill him first, even though Spidey doesn't kill him. But as Deadpool says, he'll be goddamn sure I kill you last.
I feel Dan Slott already killed Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man was such a.
I don't know
shit
Dan
movie.
Slott. I don't recognize that name.
Well, I mean, let's not talk about movies here. Since we're
Just
all
the
comic
characters.
book geeks, you know.
You know, I'm going to say one more movie thing. I'm
Okay.
so afraid because there are Deadpools everywhere. And now he's becoming mainstream. And when someone becomes mainstream, then it's like, oh, he doesn't have hookers and blow anymore.
Right.
He's just like a good guy who talks to kids.
Right.
But the video game is going to come out written by Daniel Way, who is just a fucking phenomenal writer.
If they were to fight, Deadpool would totally just bust a cap in Spidey. Spidey wouldn't even see it coming. Like,
Spidey would put him in jail though. Spidey would never, ever, ever kill him because Spidey is
Deadpool's
a good boy.
never gonna die, and he could buy his time. Maybe when he's in the senior home, like Spidey's in his little wheelchair, and Deadpool's like, "Hey, guess what, man? Ow!"
I hate to point it out, but I think Deadpool has more of a romantic interest towards Spidey than a killing interest.
Oh my God!
Just look at Tumblr. It's called Spidey Pool.
Jen, please
Nice.
don't look at that.
There's been moments in the comics where it's like, what are you doing? It's okay, I'm for it. Deadpool's free to be the man he wants to be and with the men he wants to be.
Nice. You heard it here first.
Unless you're on Tumblr, because then
Oh,
you've
yeah,
heard a lot
of
of it
course,
already.
And actually, they've had a Deadpool movie that's been in production hell forever, with Ryan Reynolds supposedly being Deadpool.
I think Ryan Reynolds, unfortunately, with the Wolverine movie that happened, that we all kind of pretend didn't
Just
happen.
kinda-
Yeah, we're just
What
going to
movie?
brush it to the side. That one scene where he's in the elevator and he gets to be Wade Wilson, and then he comes out and kills everybody. Pitch perfect comedic timing.
Right.
Great with his physicality. Totally understands the character. Not his fault what happened with the redesign of the character. I mean, it's called the Merc with the mouth.
Right.
Come on.
And he's actually pushing for a hard R too.
It should be a hard R, and he's Canadian boy,
Right.
just like Deadpool.
Exactly.
But also Disney owns it, so what kind of a hard R are you gonna see?
Right. That's true. So.
It's gonna be a firm R.
Have you seen Dirty Laundry that Tom Jane did, the fan
I
video?
did. Yeah.
See,
That's-
hopefully somebody, you know what, Ryan should do one of those with what he wants to do for Deadpool. Show that the fans are gonna get it, and then Disney's like, oh, that's money. We'll just make a little mini company in Disney and be like, oh, we had nothing to do with
He
it.
absolutely should. Ryan, if you're watching, and I know you
I
are.
know because you watch all of our
Totally.
interviews.
Come to Vancouver, we'll do the prosthetics up on you, and we'll just do it. We'll just shoot it, and then just see what Disney says.
So that's our time, guys. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
I'm gonna try to not speak to you.
As always, guys, thank you for watching the Twisted Twins, and we'll see you next time.